to another exciting video here on KLP Entertainment's YouTube channel. Not only on KLP Entertainment's YouTube channel, but we're also on Facebook. Of course, you guys can check us out, KLP Entertainment's official Facebook page. We've been having a Facebook page for a while, but you know, we're just trying to advocate it more on Facebook as well, and as well as Swanky Studios' Facebook as well on our website at www.lucas94.wings.com/KLPE, and also on our new redesigned KLP Entertainment app. You guys can go check us out there. Of course, click on the profile on every either one of the Instagram profiles. Click that link. It links you up to the new designed KLP Entertainment app. And of course, you can save that app to your home screen on your mobile device, whether it's an iPhone, Android, Huawei, LG, Sony, whatever phone you have, we have it there for you guys. So welcome on back here with your host, KLP, Kennedy Lucas, Late Show. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic night, probably chilling on your couch right now, listening to me and watching some probably eating some popcorn too. So we're here on today's show here for KLP Entertainment. Of course, we're here to talk about restaurants. You guys know how we do it. We're trying to spice things up for the Late Show with KLP. We are doing our thing here in the studio of Swanky Studios and KLP Entertainment, and I just want to thank the fans as always. So let's get on with it. I'm not going to waste too much time talking about KLP Entertainment because we have some topics here to talk about on tonight's show. Now, this episode I'm excited to do because we're talking about restaurants, and of course, how the way we do it, I have my teleprompter, aka my phone here. And of course, I'm going to answer these questions, these series of questions that we have here about restaurants and food in general. As you guys know, we've been doing Cooking with Kennedy Lucas. Of course, go check out the latest one. That one was really good, and we're going to be coming back with more. I think the next film shoot that's on our production schedule, we're going to be cooking up some teriyaki chicken later on this week. So you guys stay tuned for that here at KLP Entertainment. So, of course, let's get on to it, you guys. This one might go over the 7-minute mark because there's just so many things I can talk about in terms of food and restaurants because it's just really, really good. Of course, the first question here for restaurants theme for Late Show with KLP, of course. What good restaurants do you know of around Atlanta? So, as you guys know, we are headquarters here in Atlanta. We are downtown Atlanta. So, most of you guys might know some of the restaurants that are here in Atlanta. I can tell you some good, really restaurants in Atlanta. And of course, we're going to spread out. We're going to go to Gwinnett County. I represent Gwinnett County as well as DeKalb, Snellville, a little bit of Conyers, and a little bit of Latonia, and a little bit of Stone Mountain. I've been everywhere in Georgia. So, down to, we're going to give a shout out to Milledgeville in Jones County. As you guys may not know, I'm originally from Macon. I can't say, I love to say I'm from Atlanta because Atlanta changed my life. But I shout out to my Milledgeville and my Macon people as well. Simply because that was my homegrown town. So, let's go ahead and get the shout outs for Milledgeville and Macon first. Of course, let's start with Milledgeville. To be honest with you, I lived in Milledgeville a long time ago. This was about, I want to say about 15 years ago. I lived in Milledgeville. I moved in Atlanta in 2010, so I know that's not 15 years ago, but it was some time ago. So, shout out to Milledgeville people. If you guys are living in Milledgeville or you've stayed in Milledgeville, you know about it. My mom used to go to this Clinton barbecue place. This is Old Clinton barbecue. So it's, you know, your pork barbecue that you would buy. It's a good pork. That was my prime favorite. We always have to go there and get barbecue. If we're having barbecue for dinner that night, then my mom or dad would go to the Old Clinton barbecue and get a big tub of barbecue. So, you guys know, so where it is, it's off of Lake, I want to say that name of the lake is Lake Sinclair. I don't remember that name now. But it was by a big power plant, and it has a big tower, and then it was like a little town. And then we had a house on that street. So it's called Old Clinton Barbecue. It's really authentic barbecue. It's not the fake barbecue. It's a really, really good, tasty barbecue that you would buy. How the way I eat my barbecue, we would buy the barbecue, and then my parents would go and buy barbecue chips. So what I'm about to say, you guys might think this might be a little gross, but I would eat the barbecue, plate of barbecue and a plate of chips, and I had the barbecue on the barbecue chips, and then I would eat it that way, because you get all of the barbecue flavor within your taste buds. Some people like to have barbecue in a bun. My mom used to always do this. My mom and dad, they would say, "Okay, you guys have to have buns." I was like, "I don't want a bun because the bun just destroys the taste. You're tasting too much bread. You're not tasting enough of the meat." So I don't like the barbecue in a hamburger buns. I don't like that. I just like the barbecue, maybe some chips. Fries is kind of an unhealthy diet. I wouldn't add fries to this mix, but honestly, I wouldn't do barbecue bun. So it's Old Clinton Barbecue. I don't know if it's still there, but it's Old Clinton Barbecue, which was really good. So this next restaurant, shout out again to Millersville. Most of you Atlanta people may not know. Us Atlanta people may not know. Um, and I do like to say us because I've been living in Atlanta for years now, and I've been loving it. So you gotta have your own Chinese joint. Your own Chinese food joint. You have to have personally by yourself. So this next restaurant that's good is going to be a China Garden. Think of the name of the restaurant. It's a China Garden that's next to a Piggly Wiggly. You guys are like, whoa, what the hell is a Piggly Wiggly? Piggly Wiggly is a grocery store that's more central Georgia down to South Georgia. So, Atlanta people, you may not see a Piggly Wiggly. I did see a Piggly Wiggly in Millersville, and then when I went to Alabama for production, I did see quite a few Piggly Wigglies. So right next to the Piggly Wiggly was a China Garden, and their Chinese food was off the wall. It was really, 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 really good. It was so scrumptious. They not only it was a Chinese joint, but the food was really good. So what I like to get from that restaurant was, of course, their Chinese chicken wings, their house fried rice, and their red meat, the red ribs. My mom loves that stuff. She loves red ribs. She loves it, and I love it too. So I couldn't find really good Chinese food like that in a while. We have quite a few Chinese spots here in Atlanta, but it's just not the same as that. I think it was called Great Wall, Great Wall, China, Chinese Garden or something like that. It's really really good. Now moving on up to Atlanta. By the end of this show, y'all, I'm gonna be very very hungry because I'm getting hungry right now. So the next spot that I would try, of course, we're gonna move it on up to Atlanta. Jones County and Gray, they didn't have too many great restaurants in their area. They had quite a few okay restaurants, but not really that great. So we're gonna move it on up to Atlanta. Of course, Atlanta has many many restaurants. So let's just start downtown Atlanta. Of course, there's Taco Mac. Most people know about Taco Mac. There's this one that's in the heart of downtown, not too far from Georgia State. It was in the heart of downtown. We went downtown. Me and my brother, we were at a film shoot. Me and my brother we went to go, we were on the Insurgent film shoot. So one of the Divergent series film shoots. My mom had a connection, and we were there. We went to Taco Mac, and then we met up with the guy who was in production, and he showed us how it works, and we met, Shailene Woodley's stunt double. It was really nice. It was really cool. Taco Mac's really good for a good restaurant. And I think it was the same. That was the same Taco Mat we went to a couple weeks back. No, it was in February. The same Taco Mat we went to when we went to Raw, when WWE Raw came to town. Taco Mat's really scrumptious. So another good restaurant. We're gonna move it on up to Lawrenceville. And most of you guys know I go to GGC. GGC's in Lawrenceville. Universal Joint is another good spot. A lot of my GGC people might know. A lot of my GGC athletes might know, because back when I was a marketing assistant, I did some marketing at Universal Joint. So it was really cool. So when I did marketing, I went in there and I had some flyers, and I was really shouting them out at the time. And then I had lunch there. I had lunch there many times. Universal Joint is really, really good. I remember I went with GDN. GDN had a meeting. We were talking about our plans, and we had lunch at Universal Joint. So that's a good place to go to for a good dinner. very scrumptious dinner. Of course, American Deli is another good restaurant I would try. Many people have American Deli, so that's kind of an average restaurant, but it's really good. When we have time to celebrate or a special occasion, or we're just going out to eat, me and my brother, we always go to American Deli because it's just that good. So there's just quite a few restaurants here. Now, I do want to shout out a little bit of Peachtree Corners, Norcross area, because I do a little bit of property management over there as well. We're everywhere property management. But Noble Finn is another good restaurant. It's a good quality seafood place. It's really, really scrumptious. Noble Finn is really, really good. So moving on to the next question here, y'all. Of course, where's your go-to restaurant when you want to eat out but can't decide where to go? That is a good question. Of course, I think I kind of answered that. If we don't know where, and we actually went to, we actually went to this place a couple days ago. Well, actually, yeah, a couple days ago. So when I went to go see, I had to help my brother with something on campus, and we couldn't decide. V Green is another good vegan Chinese restaurant that you would try. V Green is a little bit more pricey because it's vegan food. I'm not saying that all vegan food are expensive, but it's a little bit pricey. So we couldn't do that. We couldn't go to V Green because it took too much time, and we didn't have that much time because we had a showing for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So we ended up going to Zaxby's. Zaxby's is our go-to. If we absolutely don't know where we want to go, Zaxby's will be our other place to go for sure. Either that or American Deli. What's your favorite Mexican, Thai, Vietnamese, etc. restaurant around? So, my prime favorite. I do like Chinese food. I do like Taipei food. I like Korean food, but I like Chinese food. That is my prime favorite. If you ask anybody, what is Kennedy's prime favorite meal to have? Chinese food. I really do love Chinese food. I went to PF Chang's for my 23rd birthday. I just love Chinese food that much. What's your favorite pizza place? Of course, that's kind of strange for that to be the last question, but my favorite pizza place, I'll tell you guys a story real quick before we close out here tonight's show. So my favorite pizza place is Papa John's. I would do Pizza Hut. I do not like Domino's, and I sure as hell don't like Little Caesars. I'm sorry, I might get, Little Caesars might say, okay, you suck for this, but Little Caesars pizza just sucks. It tastes like straight out garbage. That's probably why it's $5, because it's garbage. So Little Caesars sucks. Domino's is not that great. Papa John's is where it's at. If anyone asks me, Kennedy, where's your go-to pizza place? Papa John's. Because, to go back to this story, y'all, and I'm going to tell you guys this real short story, because this is a humble beginning. I like Papa John's not only because of their pizza is good quality, but honestly, I used to work at Papa John's. So, a little story, this is kind of a success story, and I'm actually including this in my book. I'm including this story in my book, which is coming out soon. I didn't forget about the book, y'all. A lot of people probably thought I forgot about the book. I didn't forget it. I'm writing my book right now. It's just, book writing, and it takes a minute. So, I used to work at Papa John's, and I'm going to tell you guys a story because this is kind of a motivational kind of thing for you guys. Papa John's was a very hard job. So I went to work at Papa John's because I was helping my mom out. And we do anything for our parents. We really do anything for our parents. Even though if they get on your nerves, my parents don't get on my nerves. They don't. But we had our struggles. We had our problems, and you guys know about it. And I'll write it in my book, and then I wrote it in the app, like about the recession of 2015. This happened in the recession of 2015 when K.L.P. Entertainment went down. So I worked at Papa John's. Papa John's was a very hard job. I had little to no money. We were struggling. I had the red Ford Focus. Most of you guys know that car. That car was about to tear up. Needed new tires, needed some new brakes, needed a new engine. But I had to do what I had to do. Papa John's, you had this big old Papa John's logo on top of the car. I was stressed out. And that's pretty much all we ate because Papa John's was a little bit cheaper than what we were accustomed to. Of course, I got the employee discount, and I started liking Papa John's because it just, it tastes so good. you're not gonna have that same taste as Domino's or definitely Little Caesars. Um, so I worked there for a while, and it was just, I smelled like Papa John's every time coming home. I had to take a shower every time I came home. Um, Came home around 12, and then had to get up at, let's say, 5, I think, because this was back when I was still in high school too. I had to get up ready for school, go to school, come home from school, go to work. So Papa John's would be my favorite pizza. I know I don't want to get sidetracked for you guys, but I want you guys to know, um, you know, if you guys are working these jobs, well, let's say if it's a grocery store, Papa John's, and your value is appreciated. Don't feel like you're worth nothing if you're working, let's say, at Papa John's, Domino's, Publix, Kroger. Like if you're working these small jobs that pay probably about $5.25. Don't feel like you're worthless. I want this to be a motivation for you guys, honestly, because again, I worked at Papa John's when that was my first job, working at Papa John's because I had to. Now I'm doing property management now, buying my own things and have my own home, my new car, So to let this be a lesson that you might start off humbled and broke, but you're growing up to be something better. So I want you guys to know that, because I know I have a lot of friends out here who work these jobs. They don't pay as much, and then they ask me, Kennedy, where you work at? Because you're always posting your shit on Instagram. Honestly, it's a grind, it's a hustle, and I had to start at an early age. So I want you guys to know that everything's gonna be okay. And you're starting humble, but then when you get out there, you have that work experience, because that's what it is. When I started property management, my resume started building up after Papa John's. So I want you guys to kind of know about that. I want you guys to stay motivated for you. A lot of my friends that just graduated, I saw a lot of my good friends that graduated this past July. Like a lot of good friends, a lot of 2 athletes that I know that graduated. Again, you're going to start off slow. You're going to start off very, very slow. And I mentioned the graduation because a lot of people don't have their first job when they first graduated college. They don't. So just want everyone to know that you got this, and you're going to grow, start from humble beginnings, but then you're going to start hustling. You're going to start owning your own empire. And that's what people would tell me, hey, Kennedy got his own thing. He got his own empire going. I do, because I worked really hard for it. And I know for now, I would never go back to a job like Papa John's. Never, ever, 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 ever. Never, ever go back, because I've been there, done that, and I'm writing a book about it. So, a little motivation for you guys out there, So, we're going to wrap it up here on today's show. I know I got a little sidetracked. The reason why I wanted to do that piece, honestly, because it's coming from the heart, and I just want to be real with you guys. On the Late Show with K.L.P. It just adds a little oomph to the show. Not only I did it for the show, but I do it for my fans. I do it for my friends, my closest friends that's watching me right now. It's a grind for us youngins, but we're gonna rule the world. Generation Z is coming up, so I want everyone to stay ready. I want everyone to stay woke. But that's going to wrap it up here on the Late Show with K.L.P. Of course, stay tuned, guys, later on for this weekend. Of course, this week and then eating up to the weekend, we're going to have more content, more talk shows for you out here on the Late Show with K.L.P. And, of course, we're going to be talking about more on the Luke's Check podcast and K.L.P. in the morning or evening on Spotify, iTunes, and iHeartRadio. So that's going to wrap it up on tonight's show, guys. Hopefully you guys have a fantastic rest of your night. You guys stay swanky, and I see you guys in the next show. Have a great night.